Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah. How are you all doing? I hope you all are doing well. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Yes, I'm live. I know I was supposed to do this a long time ago. Or at least that's how it seems now. Anyway, so I'm just gonna give you the quick review of episodes 3, 4, and 5. Episodes 3, 4, and 5, in case you've missed them, in case you even care at all. Okay. And then I guess I'll do 6, 7, and 8 together. 7 doesn't come out till the 19th. So I definitely want to do those two together. And then I guess and then I'll do 9 and 10 together like that. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, honestly. I don't know. Maybe I'll give y'all 6 later on this week or something like that. But right now, as promised, which I should have did a long time ago, I'm just gonna give y'all 3, 4, and 5 real quick. Okay. So let's start from the very beginning, shall we? So the opening scene, right? Okay, no, I'm not even gonna do it like that. I don't want to. I don't want to be so dramatic, guys. Yes. Um. Okay. All right. So the opening scene, right? You have. Wait. Okay, so there's some talking in front of a building or whatever. The bouncer, right? And then Ronnie, that's Unique's brother. Cool. All right. He's hitting that bouncer with the car door and whatever, right? Hitting his head. The bouncer with the car door, and then he robs him and shit. And. Okay. Next thing, you have the feds. They run up in the fish shop again. And he has over there, they're like endangered fish and all this other kind of stuff. That's what they say to him, right? And then they hit him with that, and then they hit him with a gun charge, right? Charles in Charge is playing the what's his name? Anyway, it'll come to me. You guys know it already if you've been paying attention at all so far. But that's what the federal agents do. They go over there and they visit Jersey and they talk to the guy, the one that's running the show right now. So anyway, then it cuts to Kanan. He's waking up Famous. Famous is his best friend, the rapper, right? And he's telling him, look, he doesn't hold on. Oh, he wakes up Famous, and then Famous is telling him he doesn't want any part of the weed game. You know what I mean? He's like, he definitely doesn't want to shit where he lives and all of that stuff. Okay. So, but and that's basically what it is. Then it cuts to Juke. She's singing and she's jamming with her uncle and her fathers, and they're all cheering her on. It was a real cute scene, short but sweet, lovely. Next thing you know, Kanan is telling the weed man about his delivery service, and the weed man agrees on a trial basis. Then you have the Marchetti, right? Big Fish's our attorney, and then the special agents are talking, right? And they talk about putting down stakes in Queens, and how they're saying everything leads to Big Fish, right? And they leave or whatever the case may be. That's what you know they want everybody to believe anyway, right? So that's going on. So he's just like, well, he does this trading exotic fish, blah blah blah. So Kanan's father, right? That detective, right? So now it's him and Rock. They're talking, mom and dad, right? His parents, rather. Let's just say that his parents are talking, and he's telling her to tie up all her loose ends. She's telling him to tie up his. And then wait. Oh yeah, and then he tells her that no, homegirl really did commit suicide or whatever, right? And that he had saw Kanan with some guys, was sketchy. If you remember from 2, when he just rolled by the neighborhood and just seen him outside. So basically he's telling her that. So she goes to Famous's house, or for them, both of their house, right? She's looking for Kanan. He's out with a new friend. So she asked about the maps and all that other stuff. She gives Famous some more money, right? And of course she's like, okay, well, if y'all ever need anything, call me as usual, right? She said that last episode. She leaves, and what did I say here? She spots some truck or whatever. I wonder if I had said something in between there. Yeah, for those of you talking about I don't got grass, I know y'all hear it. I know you hear it outside. Okay? I don't care. Shit. Y'all always talking shit. Ain't no grass in New York. Yeah, alright. Anyway, so Rock goes to Famous. Oh, already did that. Okay, so then the next scene, okay, Unique is at the boxing gym, and Ronnie's lifting the weights or whatever. And then he's like, oh, Ronnie just starts some shit with him about Rock and all that other shit and blah blah blah. And so Unique lets him know. He's like, nah, like she good. She ain't even in the game. She's not in the way. None of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But Ronnie still wants Unique to kill her. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to get rid of Rock regardless. Next scene, Juke is singing and she's making a sandwich. And Rock rings the bell, gives Juke a necklace, tell her she loves her, she's proud about her. She asks about Kanan, then she leaves. Next thing, Kanan walks in, tells Famous that they doing it. Famous is like, nah, he don't want nothing to do with it. And he's like, we don't have to do this type of thing, blah, blah, blah. Kanan was like, if you let my mom in here one more time, I'm going to fuck you up. So, oh no. Okay, let me stop right there. Okay, no, let me finish this part, right? So, Famous is like kind of scared or whatever. And he's like, oh, well, I guess he's going to go along with the plan. And then Kanan walks out. Well, no, before Kanan walks out, though. So, Kanan mushes him and shit. So, next thing, Unique is walking through some gambling spot, like some underground type of, like, hideaway type of spot or whatever. He's walking through the whole thing. Then he ends up in some office in the back. He meets the Asian boss. He tells him how everything works. And he lets them know, okay, well, we're going to start you with a small package, sell out the restaurant. Okay, next thing, Unique's wife, she comes back from the grocery store, and Ronnie is sitting there, and he asks for shit, and he suggests that Neek has a side piece. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, well, that's where he might be, with his new side piece or whatever like that. Then detective, Kanan's there. He's at the office. He walks into the office and says, hold on, how can I word this without it sounding so crazy? Because I just took my notes. Okay, because he just wanted to basically get information. He's like, no, okay, so he finds out, okay, basically nobody talking to his boss about anything. But, however, is Detective Foyer is on a mission to exonerate Detective Burke. Now, if you remember Detective Burke, y'all know what happened to her, right? But Kanan's father, Detective Howard, if you will, Detective Howard, he's he doesn't want anybody to know what really went down. So anyway, next scene, Juke is looking at a military pamphlet, and she's singing in the mirror and stuff. That was the next scene. Let's see. Then it cuts to a scene of Marvin and Lou. They in the club, and so Marvin asked Lou if the track for Juke was done, and then Marvin he receives a page, his 911 alert. So he goes to make the phone call, and he leaves Lou, in the club or whatever. Next thing, Unique shows up at Rock's house. They start talking, turns into sex. She rides him. For those of you who would like that information. Okay, again, we still in episode 3 over here, right? So next scene, you're walking down the street. Hold on, who's this? Oh, okay. And this is Lou walking down the street, and he left the club, and he winds up at this little bar. And inside the bar, they're listening to a record, and he's like, "Oh, that's his father, aka E Train or whatever, right?" Um. So anyway, they're discussing that, and the bartender, which is the owner, she's like, "Well, I'm sorry about your dad and all this other stuff or whatever." And he's like, "Nah, he did it to himself. Don't worry about that." Next thing you know, next thing, Rock and Neek, they're making plans for her money in the storage or whatever. And I don't know why I put that smoking a cigarette, but that's just what was going on in that scene. There wasn't much else. So, scene after that, Marvin shows up to see, Joe Giraldi or whatever, the white boys, that were holding him hostage. Oh yeah, to see one of his friends, right? Marvin has been in this group, right? He had thought he was in the group for his anger management and stuff, right? The court had mandated him to go. The judge had mandated him to go, or whatever. So anyway, one of the guys that was in the group calls Marvin, and these guys are holding the guy hostage, and they're like, "Oh, we want $500 to let this guy go or whatever." Out of nowhere, it just seems so suspicious to me, but it is what it is. So Marvin gave them the money and all of that, and they left him there. And then he went to help his friend, who was like high or whatever the hell, out of his mind, supposedly, right? So Marvin gets in, takes him home. He doesn't know his address, so Marvin has to go through his wallet or whatever, I guess, to get the address. Anyway, next scene, Neek tells Rock about the fish guy and put him on. She tells him to be careful. Ronnie is outside when Neek leaves. So he's just stuck in the place, case in the place. So now he knows where Rock lives, right? Lou's at the bar listening to a rap act, and next thing you know, because there's somebody at the bar just yapping, acting a fool, causing a problem. So he asks the guy to respect the performers, and then he proceeds to beat the guy up, right? So next scene, Detective Howard, right? Kanan's father. Um, he meets with Detective Fuller and tells her some bullshit. And then she tells him what Shannon told her, that she wasn't in a good place, says they have to shut down something because he wants the IAD investigation shut down totally. All of that stuff, right? So they do that. Kanan's schooling the transport guys on the game. Rock is in a beauty salon. The landlord keeps increasing the rent. Blah 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 blah. They're talking. They're talking to Rock about this, right? because she went there to get her hair done and stuff. Next scene, Marvin and Juke, they're at the audition. They're on the audition line. And she's asking about her Uncle Lou. Next scene, Famous and Kanan, right? Their pages are going off. They need more delivery boys. Next scene, Lou wakes up in jail, dreaming about seeing Scrap and D-Wiz. The next one, Unique, is at the Chinese restaurant. He's meeting the people of that restaurant, where that's supposed to be his new point of setting up shop or whatever. The next one, Juke is getting impatient and, she goes to puke. The nerves are getting the best of her. They don't know where Lou is. Some girl walks in, she has some shit to say or whatever. As far as like in the auditions and about the auditions or whatever the case may be, right? Okay, now we're in some club scenes, Marvin and Lou. He has Lou. Oh no. I read that part already. Okay, I gotta go on the back of the page. Okay, thank you. So now, of course, it's Juke's time to audition. They cut that. Okay, now they're showing Lou getting out of jail. Then they show Juke and she starts singing and she gets cut off so quick, But Marvin is like, oh, your mom would be so proud of you, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. Back to Detective Howard, and he's outside. Malcolm, what did I write? Malcolm outside of the mosque. Oh, the mosque. Excuse me, right? Outside of the mosque. Okay, then it goes back to Lou, and he's back at the bar, and he's apologizing, and he offers his services in any way he can to the woman. And she's like, yes, just no fighting, right? So next scene, Rock meets with the landlord to buy the beauty shop. The feds are watching, they're taking pictures and everything. Ronnie is also watching, but he's watching Kanan and Famous in front of their house. And I put creepy, the end, right? So that was episode 3. As with the rest of them, I liked it. I know I felt for Juke with the audition and everything like that. I don't know. I really can't get with this Detective Howard. No, I don't want him to be caught. But if anybody had to be caught for anything right now, I want Ronnie, Unique's brother, definitely. I just want somebody to catch him. Because it just seems like he is just creeping me out. He's just stalking every freaking body. Like, already. Like, why they let him out? Like, no. He just seems like trouble. So, but if anybody has to go, I would want to see Ronnie go, and I would want to see Detective Howard go too, because they're just getting on my nerves. Ronnie is just creepy already. And Detective Howard seems like he's losing it while trying to keep it together, like totally losing it, but he doesn't want to admit it to himself. It's like he doesn't see that he's losing it. Like I think he was very sloppy in episode 2. So yeah, and I think he's going about this the wrong way, like, ever since he did what he did. But oh well, that's what he get. So now, Power Book 3, episode 4. Opening scene is the delivery driver being chased, right? He's being chased. And he gets caught. Okay. Getting chased by the police. On the scooter. He gets caught. Okay. That's the opening scene. So it's just like, wow. Already, you're like, what the hell? You like that at first. I know I was thinking that. Okay, next scene. She's on the South Side at the South Side Plaza, right? She just signed the papers for the because now she bought the salon. That same one she was getting her hair done, and now she has turned around and purchased it. She purchased the building or whatever, right? Okay. Next scene. Lou and Kanan, and Kanan wants him out of jail for the weed. What the hell? What did I write here? Anyway, next, Rock. Okay, because I don't know. Next, okay, so Rock inside sees the owner talking to the cops about the closing on the property. So now the cops are trying to shake her down, asking about Kanan in high school and all that stuff. Cuts to Ronnie. He's entering a bar and he's meeting with um his older brother and his wife. Cuts to Neek in the office, the gambling spot again with the Asian guy. Cuts back to Ronnie and he's telling them that Neek is fucking Rock and asking how they know about Rock and whatever. And then they tell him not to wait on Neek, that he could just get himself started and all this other stuff. They said they'll give him some money, but they want it back. They're not giving him all, and whatever they do give him, they want it back. So next scene, Marvin, he returns to the guys, the IDS editor. So because he misses Renee in the group meetings or whatever, right? The guy that was doing the drugs that he had to pay for, like they were holding him ransom or whatever, in the previous episode, in episode 3. Now he meets him, he's bringing him back his ID and everything, right? And he suggests maybe they could start their own group. They agree. Next scene, Detective Howard and the other detectives, and they're struggling to think of, now all of a sudden the Crown Camacho story, they don't think it's so airtight anymore. Now they're thinking, nah, maybe not. You get what I'm saying? Like, nah. So they're flaky with it. Okay. They said it seems too easy for it to have been true, too good to be true type of thing. So they asked him about his shooting and things like that. Next scene, Juke is at the doctor's office and she's getting her physical for the Army. Neek is at home with his baby mom and she's asking if he's fucking other girls. She tells him to wait. Oh, so she's like, oh, well, let them do your laundry and take care of your crazy ass brother, you know? Next scene, Rock meets with Kanan outside of his school. Ronnie, next scene, Ronnie is at the bingo hall and he's asking for work. So he grabs up the guy, he gets escorted out. And because the guy is just like, But next thing, Juke and Marvin, they're watching TV. Jukebox made it into the group. So her audition went great. She won a spot on the group. So now she will be one of 3 in the group. Next scene, Candace and Famous at the house. They're talking about the orders. The guy that they started it with, that Kane struck the deal up with, Paul, he stops by and he's complaining. And Kanan gives him some money, Next thing, they're back at Juke's house and they're talking about the group. Next scene, Fez is spying on Rock as she goes to visit Kanan. Famous is rapping, tells Famous to open up. She puts a gun in their book bag. Well, in his book bag, in Kanan's book bag, right? And she gives Famous some more money. So Famous not only let her do the shit, he let her do the shit. And he took money from Kanan's mom again. Kanan meets Juke at the pizzeria, tells her he has reservations for them to go celebrate her. Next scene, Lou and Marvin, that Lou's drinking, doesn't tell Marvin that he was locked up. He wants to show Marvin something, right? Next scene, Juke and Kanan, they're at the restaurant. Next scene, Nick and Rock, they eating dinner, and they're talking about Ronnie. So then the next scene, Lou and Marvin at the bar. He let him know the one that he was arrested in, right? Well, I don't know if he let him, but the one that he was arrested in, and he tells them his plans, how he wants to invest in the bar. Next thing, Ronnie's outside. He wants to talk to the Spanish people. He wants product because the whole time Ronnie's been going around looking for product. You know what I mean? He can't wait to get back in the game and all this shit. That's what Ronnie's on, right? Even though Unique said he would put him on way before that, but obviously Ronnie is very impatient and he has plenty of time to stalk everybody. But anyway, so he made them an offer to get his brother out of the way. So Elena, she looks like she wants to entertain the idea, but her brother's like, no, let's go, or whatever. So anyway, Rock and Neek, they're at her house. She tells him, that they have to put everything on hold. And then Neek was like, just one more time, and she agrees, or whatever, as far as their relationship goes, because she doesn't want to be mixing the business or whatever. She doesn't need, first of all, she's not even in that business anymore. However, it just is what it is. So they do it, I guess. And then at school, they find the gun because he's trying to go through the metal detector. And when they open up his book bag, bingo, there it is. He gets handcuffed. Next thing, Juke gets to the apartment to meet the rest of the girls. Then after that, Rock is at the school. They meet with Dr. West. ACS will handle it. So they say, right? Next thing, Juke is talking to her manager. The name of the group is Butter. That's the name of their group. Next scene, Neek comes home and he's asking Ronnie what Dean was talking about. And of course, Ronnie lies. And then Neek tells him that he ain't shit. Now, mind you, Dean is the one he tried to rough up at the bingo hall. Dean is the one that used to be Connect of, one of the people that was a Connect, right? At the bingo hall, right? So anyway, so just to catch you back up, that's the one that Ronnie grabbed up, and then he got kicked out of the bingo hall. Anyway, so Nick tells him that he tells Ronnie that he ain't shit. So next thing, Rock and Kanan, they're at home at her house. Lou and Marvin, they're back at the club. Rock and Detective Howard, they're talking. He tells her the feds are watching. And he says that he's not going to call her anymore. Dean is at his grandma's house. And Ronnie sneaks in and he stabs Dean up. And I just thought that was so sad. Like, it was just the worst. And that's the end of episode 4. Okay? On to episode 5. Okay? Book 3, episode 5 now. Now we're on to episode 5. Opening scene. Ronnie is following some guy, and then he pulls a gun out on him, and then he takes his car from him. And the next thing you know, he's just speeding down the street. And then Insane in the Membrane is playing. I thought that was a cute touch. Because I'm like, yeah, definitely. He is definitely there. So next scene, Kanan, he's on the phone with Famous. Rock walks in. She's asking questions. He doesn't want to tell her anything. But we already know. Like, we're thinking that, well, she knows shit anyway. But basically, she just wants to, have that relationship with her son. But again, you have to remember, Kanan doesn't trust her. Since episode 1, he does not trust her because she's still lying to him. She still hasn't just came out and told him the truth about XYZ. He just wants to hear it from her mouth. He knows. So that, but because she won't admit it, she's avoiding it. He's just like, fuck it. He doesn't want to trust her about anything. So anyway, next scene, Ronnie's ringing Neek's doorbell. It woke him up, and he's just like, oh, you see the new whip I got? Basically, he stole a different one. It's not even the one he stole from the beginning, the opening scene a couple of scenes ago. That's not even the same car. It's a whole different car that he stole, which is crazy. But anyway. Next thing, Marvin, he's talking to the guy from the group, the what's the name guy, and he tells him, because they're eating at the diner or whatever, and he winds up telling him about Dean's death. He didn't even know. The guy's telling him. Marvin all of a sudden has to get up and leave, and I'm just like, that seems fishy. Like, if that guy wasn't already up to some shit, like Marvin leaving, I'm just like, oh my goodness, why you gotta act like you know these people? Like, shit, But whatever. So next thing, Rock shows up to the shop. All the windows are busted out. The same officers show up begging for money. She turns them away yet again. So next thing, Lou shows up to the bar, and he brings us some records or whatever. No, he lets her know that he'll bring us some records, new records or whatever. Famous gets caught by the police in front of his building. Marvin tells Rock about the news of Dean's death, while she's like sweeping up glass and all that other shit. And then he tells her what Lou has going on. She says, F him, right? Next thing you know, Kanan asking about Famous. Then back to the Chinese store. Nick shows up, and he's showing Ronnie the Chinese store, telling him about the business. He's basically trying to give it to him. And also, the name of the episode is called Brothers and Keepers, just so you know. Ronnie is just basically like, fuck you or whatever. All right. What's the name asked about Dean? Neek asked him about Dean. He said, Rock has him open. And then Neek tells him again that Rock is out. She's out of the game. And then Ronnie's just basically like, well, your business ain't shit. Basically, he don't want nothing to do with it. It is what it is. So next, Juke is with a group. They're having a dance rehearsal. Famous is being questioned by detectives. The social worker comes to visit Rock, and Kanan isn't even home because he's supposed to be home. He has rules. And that was all by design. However, Kanan's not home. Anyway, Kanan is out, and he's giving out new bags and all this other stuff to his employees and stuff, right? Ronnie pulls up on him, asking if Neek is supplying him with the heroin. And Kanan is just like, who said, like, it was heroin? Like, because, again, Ronnie is on the hunt. He's lost his damn mind, but whatever. Next, Lou is at his mom's garage, and he's getting the music. Then the mom is asking him who's going to take care of her and all this other shit. Okay, next thing, social worker said that she'll let it slide just this once, Kanan not being there or whatever. Next scene, Juke is at the end of her practice, and then one of the girls in her group wasn't quite getting it. She agrees to help her out, with the steps and all that stuff. Next scene, Detective Howard and some other detectives are talking about who killed the people in the studio. Next scene, Ronnie is talking to the chick from the store, Elena, the one who looked like she was with it, because remember, she's still harboring some feelings from what Meek did to her a while back. Neither here nor there, though. So, next thing, Kane is on the phone. Famous walks in, and he's out with no money, no bill, nothing. So, that's suspicious. That's weird, you know? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I was thinking anyway. Okay, next one. Um. Oh, so what's the name? So Famous is bringing up the past, and then Candace is like, "Look, let's not talk about that ever again. Like, just don't talk about it ever again." And then he leaves. Next scene, Lou is at the radio station, and he gives the DJ a record to play for him. Next, Rock is at Dean's wake. Meek shows up. They talk in the parking lot, and and then he tells her basically that he knows that his brother Ronnie did it. That it was him. Okay, next scene, Ronnie's at Neek's house, and then tells her that Neek is probably out fucking Rock. He tells, Neek's girlfriend, baby mother, that yeah, he's probably over there fucking with Neek. Of course, he's just going off again. Next thing, Kanan, he's at Rock's house eating cereal, and she tells him what happened with the caseworker and all of those things. Next thing, Juke and the group mate, they're talking and stretching, and she tells her all about Nicole. If y'all remember, Nicole was her first girlfriend, the one that died from smoking that stuff. And then they start practicing or whatever. They get to practicing. Next scene, Meek and the girlfriend are at the table, and she tells them what Ronnie told her. Next scene, Marvin is waiting outside, and he invites Juke to the club for the open mic. Marvin is proud, and for some reason, I put laughing my ass off because I guess the scene itself was funny. But you guys have to check it out for yourself. Don't take my word for it. I'm just telling you what happened. But I liked it. I thought it was really cute. So next thing you know, the wheelchair guy, he's now in the detective's office. He's now being questioned, and now they want to question Rock again after all of that. Because like I said again, they just don't believe the Crown Camacho story. They just thought it was too easy, too clean. It was too neatly packaged for them. So, okay, so now Lou's at the bar, and he decides not to drink. And also the bartender, which is the co-owner now, because Lou is now part owner. So they both decide not to drink. Good sign. Good sign. Next thing, the detectives pull up at her house, and she was on her way to meet them at the bar. She was out. Rock was going to be there to support her brother. And the detectives got to her, and they pulled her in for questioning. And that, yeah, I was like, oh man, because I can't wait for them to make up, So I was mad about that. Okay, so Juke and the group mate, they're at the table because she invited the group mate, the one she was helping practice, Aisha, helping practice her dance moves or whatever. She invited her out to the open mic. So she came. They're at the table. Kanan pulls up. Then Kanan wants to talk to her. Juke says, "Go ahead." Then they cut to Neek riding around looking for Ronnie. Marvin walks in and asks Lou if he's seen Rock yet. Lou doesn't want it. He's not even trying to hear none of that. So next scene, the detective is talking to Rock. Yeah, the detectives rather. They're talking to Rock about her investment, right? Some of her investments. Like she invested in the studio, right? Crown Camacho studio and all of that stuff. Niggas, you're gonna give somebody else time to watch it. Wait a minute, I'm only doing episode 5. Hey, Ashton. No, because I've been was supposed to do these two. And episode 7 is coming out on the 19th. So I really wanted to get this out because I've been was said I was gonna give this to y'all when it first happened. So, and then I pushed the bait enough. Hey, how are you? Thank you for stopping by. So, and then I'm gonna do those two together. I'm gonna wait till after the 7th episode comes out, and then I'm gonna do episode 6 and 7 together. But don't stop me now. I'm right here at the very end, okay? The very end of this episode. I'm almost finished, I promise. So they were asking her about her investments. Next thing, Famous is on stage. He's doing his thing. He's rapping. Next thing, Neek is in the rain. And I don't know what the hell he's talking to. Something. I don't know. He's about something. I don't know what. I don't even know my notes say now about that person. See? You got me out of my comfort zone now. I don't even know what's going on here. See, when you just be scribbling. But anyway, so yes, and I scribble in cursive, so it's a little harder to read. Anyway, then it's Rock with her lawyer, and then Neek finally confronts Ronnie. They start fighting, and he tells him that he's what? That is his life, something. I don't know what the hell I wrote now. See? Oh, I should never looked at that screen. I was doing good. Now I don't even know. Okay? At least let's pretend like I don't know. No, but I really don't even know what it says. That is his life, something riding with Nick. I don't know. Anyway, the next thing you know is oh, Neek whips Ronnie's ass and then he walks away. Oh yes, and then Ronnie gets up and he starts beating Neek with a pipe. Like what the fudge? Like why? But this is why you don't turn your back on people. Like, that's your enemy. Like, I don't know. So anyway, he starts beating Nick with a pipe, and then he puts him in the trunk of the car. He drives him somewhere, and the next thing you know, he's rolling his body down into the woods somewhere. Down the hill into the woods somewhere, like straight like that. A freaking savage. Like I told you, I knew something was wrong with this guy from the beginning. But yes, that is how episode 5 ended. Like mind blown again. I saw like almost every ending, like I hate it. These endings, like I hate it, right? So now what you guys can do, now that you're all caught up, you could just go watch episode 6. Or just go watch all of them. 3, 4, 5. If you haven't watched 1 and 2 already. 3, just go watch it for yourself. I'm telling you, it is really good. It's really good. I like it. None of those editing mishaps and all that crap. It was just really, really nice all around. And as you can see, everybody's storyline is progressing quite well. It was done beautifully. And I'm just so mad. And I really hope that you guys, okay? Listen, I'm telling you, listen, catch up. Because I'm not going to do 6 and 7 until 7 comes out. The hell am I talking about? I'm talking about book 3, season 3. And I just finished telling y'all about episodes 3, 4, and 5. Yes, episode 6 is out now. Go watch that too. But I'm not doing a review on that. I'm going to do the review on that after I watch episode 7. After episode 7 comes out, I'm going to review them both together. Okay? Is that all right with you, SD? No, I was telling you that I because on the thing, so I just wound up clicking it because this been up here for some days and days. I was supposed to do it, so I just finally did it. Episodes of what? Yes, book 3, season 3. Yes, it's this Power book 3. It's called Raising Canaan. Season 3, episode 3, 4, and 5. I just did for you. I've given you 1 and 2 earlier, sometime last year. And so now I'm just giving you guys 3, 4, and 5. Because I've been saying I have it. I just need to just tell you. So now I told you. Yes. It's Power Book 3, Raising Canaan. Season 3. And this was my review. This was episodes 3, 4, and 5. I don't know if it was much of a review or not, but it was exactly what happened. I thought it was good. Yeah, I just came up here to do that real quick this morning. Shoot. I had a few minutes. I said, let me just get this out of here, Because I'm not even going to lie. I think I might change, like, even the notebook I'm going to be writing in. Because I'm not going to lie. I write a lot, so, like, and that's not really the kind of notepad or book I usually write in, because that's the notepad that I have. A bigger one, but it's still a notepad. It's not a notebook. So I prefer a book to a pad, any day. So yeah, most pads are waste of paper, but it is what it is. I don't know. So I'm gonna what is it? Yeah, so I'm gonna do it from the notebook. The next one is in a notebook. So I said, let me get this out of the way because I think I'm gonna completely get rid of the pad. I know there's some things on my pad that I still have to rewrite somewhere else or type somewhere else. But other than that, yeah, that pad is going in the trash. So I'm trying to get everything out of there. And since I was just doing it on this, it was no reason for me to rewrite that or type it or anything like that. That wasn't like important. But so I had to just get all of that out. I'm like, I'm saving it for what? Like, even though I wasn't necessarily saving it, I just didn't really have time. So I found the time. So here it is, you guys. My review, book 3, seasons 3, episodes 3, 4, and 5. Power, Raising Canaan. Raising Canaan. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. No, it does not come with a piece of toast. It's not come with any dip and sauce. Okay. But it's a good show. You should give it a try. You should watch it. It's so good. I don't want to say so good. Like, I'm just gonna say it's fine. Nah, it's better than I, but don't take my word for it. Go watch it for yourself. Yeah. Anyway, episodes 1 through 6 are out now. Episode 7 will be available in January 19th. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay, so I think I'm gonna end this stream. And I may start another stream later on. Probably like after lunch or something. And I say lunch, meaning like 12 o'clock my time, Eastern Standard Time. So it'll be after 12. Yeah. Because, that's when they say most people take lunch. So it'll probably be, I don't know, it might be after 2 o'clock, But, yeah, between now and 2, I will be on after 12 for sure. After 2, yeah, I don't know. It just depends on how quickly things get done. But I love you all for listening. Thank you for joining me Have a great day, guys. Mwah.